of antidepressants, but men, I'm a social worker, so men 1 out of 10 are more likely to experience depression, but more likely to go undiagnosed and not seek therapy or help. So I do think, and women also, you have to consider the fluctuation in hormones, pregnancy, because that can alter, their mental health. So I think that's kind of a moot point, but I feel like, I'm not looking for a mother figure. I'm looking for an equal. So I feel like with,
Got him.
If we're saying that women, they're like going home crying, looking for men, I think it's also that societal pressure that tells you at the same time you have to have multiple women. They're telling the women you have to have that one man, that husband by a certain age, have kids by a certain age. There's more pressure on them than there is men. And for, lack of a better term, I think men have gotten off a lot easier because women have so much pressure and they get judged more harshly than men do for talking about back then when men used to go home, bring home the bacon or whatever. The domestic violence rate was pretty high during that time. And I'll also say that for people of color, we never really had the luxury of working one job. So my parents, their parents before them, everybody always had to work, man and woman. So there was always that equal opportunity for them to be able to see that they could do it together as opposed to put that one pressure. And I also would like to ask, if you guys find submissive women more attractive than dominant women, is that because it makes you feel more validated as a man, or is there something there that you feel like feeds into your purpose as a man?
Yeah, well, it's a balance. If I'm a dominant person, I need a submissive. If I meet a dominant woman, we're gonna butt heads.
I need a submissive. Like, dude, like you wouldn't even talk that way about a pet, dude. Okay. I need a submissive. It's like crazy.
What if that changes? Like, what if she grows? Because I would love everybody to be able to grow throughout life. What if she starts becoming more dominant? Is that like a...
Are you saying if she starts becoming more dominant in our relationship?
More dominant or equal to your dominant?
Oh yeah, she's gone. She's finished.
And see,
We're done.
And see, that's my thing. Like, look, I got children. I don't need somebody else to take care of. And I love your thing about, the Prince Charming and everything. But you know what I need? I need a badass woman who can match my badass energy. I work with my wife. And I'm going to tell you, I take care of her, she takes care of me, and she's badass. And that's what I'm attracted to. I don't need a submissive that I have someone to take care of. And then it's fine. If she goes through that, then I'll be there and I will take care of her. But I'm not looking for somebody, another child to take care of and have to dominate and tell, you go over there. This is where we're going to go to dinner. This is where we're going to do that. No, that's why what he was saying, I was going to bring that fact up too. A lot of men are depressed because they put it on this shield of I have to be the leader. I have to do this. And you know who goes to get help first? Women.
Okay, that totally makes sense. I think if we're talking about men not ever dealing with their emotions, it makes sense for this argument that you guys are talking about. But I'm the firm believer. I have gotten a lot of therapy in my life. I've done a lot of things for myself personally to resolve my own internal conflict. Okay, so it's a job of alpha men. The real integrated alpha man has the capacity to understand what he's feeling, why he's feeling the way that he is, articulate in a way that is productive to the dynamic. So a real man is someone that understands himself deeper at an emotional level, has taken the time to do that so he can show up as a rock, not so he can show up more emotionally.
Problem is that if you're super emotional, when we talk about the whole thing of being submissive or dominant, your woman is going to dominate you because you're so emotional.
Emotionally unstable. Let's say that. Let's stop using emotion. Let's start using emotionally unstable.
Right. Since you're so emotionally unstable, she's going to dominate you and then she's going to lose respect for you, and that's going to teeter the waters of the relationship.
So, you guys know dominatrix exists for a reason. And by the way, I used to personal train at dominatrix. You guys are their clients.
Not me, cowboy.
I'm being serious. Like, it's a...
Not me, cowboy. Fuck no. I would never do that. It's like, that's the difference between what I said and what he said, okay? I have been dominated before. It's not for me. I don't really enjoy it. I feel like it's too forced usually. And, like, I'm not insecure about it. This guy's like, oh, fucking, if you're being dominated, you're lame, you're wet, you're gay. It's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? No one, like, people would not even make these assertions about you if you weren't so busy overcompensating for it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Do you understand? Like, now I immediately am thinking, oh, dude, you definitely secretly love it and are worried about it. Right now, I'm never going to not picture Hasanabi again. But okay, I didn't go that far, you fucking weirdos. Holy shit. There's nothing wrong with it if you do, but listen, man, you dip your toes in it, okay? You don't just fucking dive off the deep end. Holy fuck. Some of you chatters are crazy. Yeah, I got into that that plastic fucking thing that I saw on Twitter. What is it? This dude has like a full body like plastic cube thing that he stays inside of. What the fuck is that? You know what it is, right? The vacuum box or whatever. We got to find that. You got pegged? No. I have had my ass eaten though. Pretty good. She's gonna drop that. She 100% is about to drop that fucking frame again. Does no one have that fucking vacuum cube thing? Come on, dude. Yo, it's fucking insane. Okay, here. I can show it because there's like nothing that you can see. Luckily, it's like not TOS. Why did I block this person, I wonder? But yeah, that's what I did. No, I'm kidding.
The very hidden thing. I used to date them. High positions of power, very alpha. But like, here's the thing. I think you guys put a little bit too much pressure on yourselves. It might be a societal thing. I've dated submissive women before. I find them highly annoying. Sometimes I just want somebody to pick a choice. I like her places. She's got better taste than I do when it comes to that kind of stuff. So please go ahead. We do butt heads once in a while because she is dominant. But does that mean she lost respect or attraction for me? No, not at all. And trust me on that one. So I think it does depend on your energy. You have a very high one, right? Maybe it doesn't mix well with somebody who also has a really high dominant energy. I'm not saying that's wrong because they exist for a reason, submissive people, right? But I just think for me, when it's very submissive, I don't find that as sexy. I find that annoying.
But see, and that makes sense. And the reason why, see, what happens is the more masculine you are, the more you want the woman to be submissive. The more dominant she is, then the more.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty fucking masculine, dude. And I don't want somebody that submissive.
I'm saying that in that moment you're in your feminine, but go ahead.
If you and your wife have like a conversation about a disagreement, and then you guys like a healthy conversation, and then she ends up being right in the situation, would you consider her dominating me?
No, I consider her right.
So what's your definition of like dominant? Like you always have to be right? And
no, it's not about right and wrong. It's about who's running the show.
So by her being right, is that not her running?
No, that's just her being right in that conversation.
Yeah, a good leader would allow someone else to be right. A good leader doesn't have to be right. He wants the team to win. In fact, I'd call a man insecure if he wouldn't allow a woman to be right on the subject she was clearly.
I like that.
I do like that. And, you know, it goes back to the question of, like, what do you find more attractive? Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a preference.
What's a preference? It's a preference. One of the things you said is, like, when you and your partner or girlfriend get into something and it's, like, a little heated, like, I get off on that.
Me, I totally don't get off on that. Like I don't need any back talk. I don't need any lip. I don't need any attitude. It's my way or the highway. Like I don't want none of it.
I didn't even have a conversation in the first place about the disagreement.
You're not having that conversation.
No.
So you just want to be challenged. You don't want to be challenged.
That's okay. Like no back talk. I'm right.
That's a different thing. If we're talking about a topic and she's right about the topic, that's just how us talking about the topic.
Like an opinion of yours or things that you want
I'm talking about
disagrees with.
If you make an opinion, you're saying you want no back.
No. I'm not talking about opinions. I'm talking about decisions. So we can have a conversation about a topic, but when it comes to a decision, the final decision is mine.
Let me change my word. If we're to have a healthy discussion about a decision, which she disagrees.
She says I disagree.
Right. She says, so if we say, hey, she wants to do A, B, and C. And I say, no, I want to do D, E, and F, right? We're doing D, E, and F at the end of the day. Now, I will listen to what she says. And if I think A, B, and C sounds better, then I say, okay, yeah, let's do A, B, and C. Because
that sounds bad talk in the first place.
No. That's
even entertain the conversation?
No, that's what I'm saying. If we're having a conversation, that's cool. I'm saying the final decision, though, is mine. So you can speak your mind, but at the end of the day, I'm making the final decision.
So it's like, I'm going to let you talk.
Yeah, let you talk, yes.
In the end, I don't really care. I'm going to do what I want.
I said I care.
I do want to touch upon
One more thing with like let's clarify submissive. Let's not get that mistaken between incompetent. Like submissive does not mean incompetent. And I think you might have been talking about women that could be incompetent, where they don't have the capacity to take care of themselves at all or make any type of decision. So I think there's definitely a difference in how she shows up in the relationship compared to being able to make decisions in her everyday life.
Sure, but he doesn't want them to make decisions.
No, I didn't say I didn't want them to make decisions.
I'll say this.
No, your decision's the final, no matter what.
Some of the strongest women in the world right now are sitting in submissive roles because they're strong enough to think for themselves and do what they feel good in their heart. Because there are women that do want to be submissive naturally. And some of those women are the strongest women in the world right now, especially when the world's telling them to go be something that they don't want to be.
I do agree that honestly it is a choice, it's a preference. You know, we shouldn't speak upon like everybody. Obviously, like it's always a gray area. It's a range. It's not one side or the other. And if you guys want to be in a relationship where the woman is submissive and the woman also wants to be in a relationship where the male is dominant, that's completely fine. But the thing I want to talk about more is the fact that like you guys keep saying that like this is what women want, or that like all women want this. Who are we to decide what women want? Because first of all, we're not women. And second, just because of our personal experiences in our lifetime about the people we've interacted with, I feel like that's something we need to take a step back from and clarify that like, no, this is just my personal opinion. In the end, we don't know what women want. Women knows what they want, not men.
I have yet to see a relationship, because I would say a relationship dynamic that is optimal has deep connection where you could say there's a deep friendship there, but also there's sexual polarity. And I've seen dynamics where there is a great friendship there and there is connection and they do live very cohesively. But when the woman is more dominant, the majority of the time, I have yet to see a dynamic where consistently over time, there is strong sexual polarity on her end in a dynamic.
And that's fine. Like if that's what you see
Sorry.
in your lifetime.
Kaya fucking just straight pissed. I didn't even see it. I didn't even notice it. I turned around and there's just so much piss. A misadventure, yes. We noticed, we saw it. Nice. $3 million toilet. Stop saying piss maxing. Stop it. It's not funny, okay? Not funny at all. Give her diapers? That's what we're doing with our puppy? That's insane. What? No. Sorry. I can't believe they talked for like 25 minutes about whether submissive women are more attractive than dominating women.
And that's completely fine. Like,
But I think
but then that's
evolutionary biology says that. I don't think it's just my personal opinion. I don't think, but like,
Probably who you just surround yourself with.
yeah, like, that's just saying. It's like just because you've grown up in a certain area where like people are like that, because like I could say the same thing, but on the other side, where I've seen plenty of people and plenty of relationships where like that wasn't the case, but then they're like sexually fine, you know, that they're perfectly fine, their polarity is completely fine, and they're happy. And I could say the same thing. I could keep going at you saying that like, oh, because of what I've seen or what I've experienced, dominant men, it won't work. But then that's dumb, because there are cases where dominant men do work, but there's also cases where it doesn't.
No, it's
It's just so, it's so odd. It's such an odd conversation to have. I don't know why they didn't just like have this conversation with like alpha dogs versus like alpha women, I guess, or something. Because like, there's no women involved here to like defend their humanity almost, where it's just a bunch of bros getting together and be like, you know, no, actually submissive women are the shit. Or like, what is the concept of a submissive woman? Like, I still, like, I know what they talk about. I know what the alpha dogs mean when they say that shit. Right? But it's like kind of stupid. Not even kind of stupid. It's very stupid. To just like categorize a woman's traits and behaviors in such a one-dimensional way.
Happy, they're probably not going out saying, I'm so happy, I'm dominant, I'm a woman. They're not going around saying that. You know, they're just happy. They stick to themselves most of the time when they're that happy.
All right. I am great at sex.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, bro. Fucking yeah.
I mean, I have a lot to learn.
I mean, it's odd. Like, who the fuck would be like, nah, man, I'm dog shit at sex? That's like kind of a silly question. You know what I mean? I'm fucking doo-doo, son. I'm fucking so bad at sex, dude. It's crazy.
So what are we discussing?
Damn, the one alpha dog said.
right now.
Bro, this was a chance to redeem yourself.
No, I know, but it's just.
All right.
Actually, I'm gonna go back.
With my partner, my wife, I'm able to not only
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the alpha dogs are probably not very good at sex. Okay. Just like, dude, listen. If you're that much of an alpha dog, if you're looking for like submissive women, i.e., bitches, right? Then you're 100% sports fucking. You're not eating pussy. You do not care about about the desires of your partner. Okay. I'm making a lot of assertions here. Maybe they will tell me I'm wrong, but I do feel like a lot of this alpha shit comes from being kind of selfish. And the reality is that if you're selfish, you're probably going to encounter a lot of people who like lie to you, and maybe make you feel like you're doing a great job. Yeah, they're jackhammers, exactly. Fucking, like, I would go so far as to say that communication is more important. Like, understanding your partner's needs and not being selfish is literally more important than what the most common things are about sex. Like, right? Like, going long, dick size, all this shit. Like, no, what literally matters most is communication, treating your partner with kindness and respect, and understanding what they want, and allowing them to open up, allowing them to be confident enough to be able to like trust you enough to tell you what they want, what their desires are, or even be able to experiment. As a matter of fact, that takes a lot. Not easy. You know, if you're the big dog, you know, if you're alpha dog, you're probably not doing a lot of that because you don't really treat women with a lot of respect. So I suspect you're just getting in there. You got some things that you know that you think you've gotten like positive reinforcement out of. Don't know if it's good or not. And you just keep doing that over and over again, thinking like, I'm the alpha dog. Why don't you have a life-size mirror next to your bed? I want to see myself fuck you.
connect physically, but also emotionally. You know, and I think that's the biggest trick I've learned. Not trick, but the thing I've learned about my years of being with my partner. You have to sort of like, you know, keep the spice going.
I would say, you know, I think the fact that we have a woman who keeps coming back or who keeps wanting it, I think that, you know, that's a sign that she thinks you're great at sex. You know what I mean? Because she actively wants to keep it going and keep it going in that direction. I will say though, I'm better at sex with women I care about. Yeah, you know, so I think, and me being a player and a guy.
Yeah, he's like literally slowly, maybe not even personally understanding what he's saying, but that is the realization that like, yes, what do you mean women I care about? You're like, yeah, no shit. That's because it's that you have seen this person numerous times, and that person is, for one reason or the other, maybe a little bit more comfortable with you, which is wild, but, you know, I'm sure it has happened. Women do have really low standards, let's be real. This is not exactly a target-rich environment for a lot of fucking top-shelf dudes, okay? I'm gonna be honest, I say this all the time, the bar is very low, okay? Even that guy has somehow cleared it.
Guy who goes out and talks to a lot of different women, you know, if with my girlfriend or like my wife or whatever like that, sex would be great. With the other girls, it can still be good, but I know that I don't really put in that much effort because it's almost like I'm masturbating with someone.
And eventually, you know your partner's like comfortability, what they like, what they don't like, and things, and that's how you make sex a lot better instead of like sleeping with.
Right. 1,000%. Plus, you love them.
Right.
Like, so you knew if you were gonna die today and you could have sex with one person before you die, it would be that person. Right. Like, no matter what, like you could have every supermodel, every movie star, everything. Like, fuck all that. Like, I want that person.
Focus so much on like what they like as well. You know, like you're kind of there to like pleasure them. You know, because you care about them so much.
Right.
Which is why like you would hyperfixate on like what do they like, what they don't like, and you can easily like adjust yourself and put in effort for that person.
And like, for instance, it's so true that you said that, because my wife and I, we have this thing we call the love menu. Okay, you know, why did we invent the love menu? We invented.
Oh my God, this dude He's like every fucking like crunchy granola stereotype, dude. I mean, I like him. I mean, he seems like a fun dude, but also at the same time, it's like he's such a hippie dad, dude. It's fucking crazy. Like everything that he's brought up so far has been ridiculous. Like we got a love menu.
The love menu because we have 3 children, and they're only 2 years apart. They're in the mid-20s now, but you know, think about it: 2, 4, 6 at home, and I'm working, and she's doing her thing. So we found that in our young relationship, sometimes the other person might be tired and like turn, but that's hurt feelings. That makes you kind of do this type of thing. So what we did is we come up with a love menu of like, here's the appetizers. I might not be ready for the full course tonight, but here's your appetizer because I know you like this, or here is your dessert, or here's your main course meal. And we broke it into those things. So when we do come to each other and we need that connection, it's not just like, I'm tired, I don't feel like it. It's kind of like, well, what's going to happen? We have a full course meal tonight, or we're just going to have some appetizers. And that's kept it spicy for us. And also, like what you say, making sure we're pleasuring each other. It's not just.
This guy gives Dale's wife the love menu every night. John Redcorn. Dude, stop. What the fuck? Oh no, Dale Gribble.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I need to get my rocks off. But like, you know, how are you feeling about that? And how are you feeling about that? Because when you're in a long-term committed relationship, you have to do that or it dies.
God damn it, Bobby.
I love that. I love that you talk about the amount of intention that you live with in regard to making sure that you're always evolving with it, always making sure that.
By the way, it was either going to be like the betas were going to be unbearably fucking cringe, or they were going to be like significantly more confident than the alpha dogs, and it's been a mixture of both, really. But like, you know, it's just like sometimes they come across as unbearably cringe, and most times they come across as like very, very confident, like much more confident than their alpha dog peers.
That's spicy. You just care. I think if you have a genuine care for the other person that you're involved with, then maybe you're not great right then and there, but it will eventually develop into being something that way. So I love that care that you demonstrate with that.
Well, I'm interested in what you had to say. You've been very quiet on this one. You're usually like...
All he said was, look at the receipts, you know? He knows it.
And look, and that's a very important thing, right? Is so I think that as a man, I hate to say, actually I don't hate to say,
yeah, I don't think this guy's ever, this guy has never hated to say anything, okay? Seems to me like he's not the type of guy who ever hates to say anything. He just says everything.
And I do find, by and largely, it's kind of like you could have the alpha beta argument. I do that thinking coming in kind of in a dominant way. There's a reason 50 Shades of Grey is so popular. There's a reason it's the most read book of all time. There's a reason there's detail in it. And I think you can say so much to a woman in sex without saying a word. You know what I'm saying? It's about how you touch her, how you have your hands on her, the way you take over her in that way. And that's okay. Just knowing and seeing that expression and seeing things that happen and as a result of that is enough for me to know where I stand on.
Okay, this man's understanding of like sexuality and women's sexual desires is just so bad. Like it's like a 55-year-old repressed man, okay? 50 Shades of Grey. It's like, yeah, in another world, if he wasn't doing like the MLM shit and he actually struck gold, he would be doing the MHUD classic videos that he finds on TikTok of like dudes in the Midwest who like love wearing a 3-piece suit without the actual blazer and the, like over the fucking 50 Shades of Grey movie dialogue, doing like weird BDSM moves that they think are like super sick to get all the Barbara pussy in a fucking 30-mile radius. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyone that fucking says, like, yeah, 50 Shades of Grey, brother, women love that shit. This is the type of guy who says shit that sounds more like a threat than sexy, like, I would eat you out for hours. Ew, dog, get a sip of water.
On the subject.
The only thing I disagree with you about is I agree with that energy, that take control energy. And I think when women does love that. But sometimes my wife likes to take control. And I love it.
Well, get up there, girl. Get up there, girl, and do what you got to do. You know,
So, like,
hey,
I don't
hey,
think
I'll put my
always
hands
has
behind
to
my
be
head too. Yeah, cowboy. Hey, don't worry. Yeah, but by and largely,
Yeah.
yes. And then when she wants to, but even when you're on bottom, man, you still doing work, bro. It's all about dancing, bro.
I don't want to get naked, but I have sex tattooed on my chest. Can I?
Bro, it wouldn't take much. Half of
It's right here on my rib.
Okay. All right. And it's like an old one too. Not even like a.
I think the biggest thing I've ever heard from my sexual partners is like, wow, you really caught me off guard. And I think that's like a big part of it.
What does that mean? No. They're like, damn, you're worse than I thought I was going to be. Like, what the fuck's he saying? Oh my God, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. I don't want to even think about it.
Is this like an argument with myself?
Tell us why you're terrible at sex. You missed it. He stripped.
No, I did see that. I saw it. I disagreed because I just feel like it's such a typical conversation and belief that every guy believes they're great at sex. And to be real, when I talk to my girlfriends, none of them have good sex with guys unless it's, like you guys said, your partner. Then you can...
This guy's the most normal alpha guy, by the way, which is like a little bit uncharacteristic of like the average alpha dog. You know what I mean? Like he's not wrong. Also, like you can have great sexual chemistry with one person and nothing with another person. You know what I mean? Like there is no like I'm consistently the best at sex across the board. You know what I mean? Yeah, there are best practices, certainly. You know what I mean? There are best practices, but ultimately, like, it's not going to always work. Have you ever had bad sex? Of course I have. But sex is a lot like, for guys, sex is a lot like pizza for the most part. I know there's a fucking cliche to say, but even bad sex is still, you know, fine. It's still good. It doesn't take much is what I'm saying, okay? It doesn't take much, for me at least. Maybe not for everybody. So, but yeah, I have certainly had, I've certainly had, you know, not great experiences.
You can get better at it, right? And you know what they like. So that's what I mean. Like, I think I'm...
Damn, this guy's good.